So this is potentially the last game of the set. It's 3-1 for AR12 now. We have Budapest in the map pool, and Budapest, pretty stressing one. You start with 2 TCs here, and you just have so much to handle. You need to drop extra houses. I'm not sure if you start with any extra resources here. Anyway, for both players, starting with 2 TCs, obviously, you have the standard resources, but ×2, lots of extra hunt, some extra berry bushes here, and overall a very unsettling, stressful start here. And already see players getting loom pretty early, so as not to idle 1 TC and not get pop capped waiting for the houses to finish, and etc. etc. They spawn really close, but then there's hills in between, right? So you want to get control of those. You can make use of the ponds as well if you really want to go crazy on the multitasking. And then there's some neutral resources in around the map here. This is fantastic for AntMan actually, if he ever gets around to scouting it, because he'll have very safe access to a backstone and a back gold here. Whereas AntMan, for AntMan in the back here, whereas AR12 on the other side has a sort of a 5-tile gold here. So gold on the hill, that could be an issue. You just castle drop that as Franks or something and bye-bye. Will be crucial to take control over the hills here. And in one way I favor Japanese here for their potential to go for their good archers. On the other hand, I favor Franks because of the cheaper castles and a way to take map control like that. We see already the wall of beginning here for AR12. About to find, if you didn't already, will know that AntMan's TC is over here, and here come the house walls just to secure the locations here. AntMan just passing, but will run into the loomed villager now. So everything is doubled here. They start with 2 scouts as well, and it's overall pretty stressful. Just look at the villager numbers. At minute 3.5, it's already almost 19 here for both. So I appreciate AR12's scouting here, making good use of both the scouts, whereas AntMan is doing more or less the same thing. He's lost some HP on this one because he did attack a villager and idling another scout here, but no biggie, still getting some great intel on the map. Sees the wall of beginning here and knows the location of at least 1 TC. That's probably how he lost most of this HP. Steals some cows though, that's always good with some extra food for the resource good income here. And looking at the double TC start here, AR12 seems to have had a head start here with a little bit less idle time, probably because of being housed a little bit less in the heat of the moment here. AntMan is walling off in the back here for some reason, maybe worried about some sneaks or something against the ocean. AR12 is with 2 scouts here, all collected them now. Could actually use them since they're both full HP here, could use them to try and snipe villagers and stuff. AntMan just sending a little nudge here, battering away the houses, blocking the entrance here, as AR12 is walling off yet again and trying his best to secure the passages over here for the long game. It's kind of huge that AR12 finds the resources in the back here as well. I don't think AntMan has those scouted. Not really expecting there to be any extra resources over here, so that could be something for the long game. There is one in the back here though that AntMan has found on AR12 side, so that's something you need to contest as well at some point. Resource income seems somewhat similar and consistent for both players here. And here's AntMan walling off the middle section here, also walling right next to AR12 here, just in case AR12 should break some walls and try and come through easily here. The walls will give AntMan a heads up if something happens over here. So a little bit of a run in here, 1 scout down for the AntMan. So 1 villager less, 1 scout less, 1-0 KD for AR12 here on Budapest. Oh, almost a scout's trade here. AR12 being the first one to the field age at a whooping 40 villagers here. This is like instant humans to TC boom here. Pretty stressful start to your games, having to attend to 2 TCs and play it as sort of the same way as you would with one. But it's going to be a significant head start for AR12 here. Shouldn't have any troubles fast casting off this, I think, still. So with 4 gold, a lot on food as well, and has even docked a pond here to maximize that food input, these food sources on the map. This could be sneaky, even though Ant-Man is walled here, you could send the transport over and try for some shenanigans, but from the looks of it, Ant-Man is expecting something like that to happen. So his wall off on land as well, just to be completely sure no sneak happens from the left-hand side here. On the right side, some walling in progress for AR12 as well. These just want to be on the safe side, both of them here. I don't think we'll be seeing a lot of action until the castle age kicks in here, but AR12 with a solid head start to the feudal age keeps the villager counts similar though. Now we're at live game time, and Ant-Man is about to catch up here. AR12, I think he queued castle age already on TCs because his resources were suspiciously low here. It's a market and blacksmith up probably. There's a dog for Ant-Man as well, so that's going to boost the food income even more. Scouts of AR12 roaming around trying to snipe a villager here, specifically the one building the blacksmith for the up, and actually succeed in breaking through the quick palisades here, so one villager down for Ant-Man, but more importantly, delaying the barracks here, blacksmith here, so that the castle age upclick will be even further delayed for the Ant-Man here. Missing a little bit of food as well, but that's just right around the corner. All in all, maybe not too huge of a difference considering their village counts are pretty similar here. Double attacks kicking in there for the Ant-Man, 22%, roughly 50% behind AR12 here. AR12 with a dock on the right hand side as well, and still hasn't docked the back, which is also an option obviously. I'm sure both of the players know the map here. Finally, AR12 Scout will go down as well, so we're off to some trade here between players. Ant-Man with one more death though, so that's a villager down as well for Ant-Man. There's the castle age for AR12. He seems to be set up with lots of food and gold here, but dropping TCs to extend the boom. A third TC here, going to exploit the fact that he's earlier up to the next stage and wants to get that villager count to spike up even more. Villager numbers kept close though, but once this TC completes for AR12, it could change. Let's see if the Ant-Man goes straight for TC. Goes for a TC on the stone, so Ant-Man wants to get some castles up to fortify his position there. This should still be a castling able position, so that should be a good one. Rushes this one up, knows that AR12 was earlier to the next stage and is already probably on a 3 TC boom, so that's to just compensate here. Could be seeing some fighting on water here if they realize the other is in. AR12 knows that Ant-Man has docked this one, but does Ant-Man know that AR12 is here? I don't think it does. Gillnet's in for AR12 as well, and now going into the fire ship here to challenge the Ant-Man on the right hand side here. And that's also a fire ship in the right sense of the word. Already upgrades in here, easy to pick off these fishers, and these are Frank's fishing ships, not Japanese, so AR12 with Japanese here has a huge advantage in the ponds here. Now controlling 2 of them and has 1 in the back as well, so all in all could be looking at a larger villager lead for the long run here. Ant-Man is floating a lot more resources though, so what's the reasoning behind this? It's not really spending. Is he going fast imp here maybe? Almost looks like it. Let's look at the fishing ship situation here. Active fishing ships for Ant-Man, 4. For AR12 it's 6, so AR12 should have the fish lead. Also villagers... situation should be somewhat similar. Ant-Man just slightly behind here, but somehow with more resources overall, as AR12 is spending into armies. So that's the change here, getting some upgrades for the crossbows and trying to mass up units here. But if Ant-Man can get some defensive castles up at the respective spots, there's a limit to how much the archers can accomplish here. Here's the middle section being castled here now by the Ant-Man. He did go heavily into stone. Already had the 1-3 and University app for the Imperial Age click, and is going to get a technology lead here over AR12. No military whatsoever for the Ant-Man though, going imp at 80 something villagers. But looking at AR12's eco, it's going to be a while yet until AR12 gets to the next stage here. Oh, okay, crossbows are true, Ant-Man can't wall in time, this could be hurtful. He is on the way up to the Imperial Age, doesn't have an eco to back it at all. How do you stop this push? I mean, should have the option of another castle here soon. And I hear stables going up, +2 on the way, could get into Cavalier as well, and looking at the eco disposition here, it's still a while away until AR12 can click imp, but he has much more population, 20 more villagers and 30 military to 0 here. I think military numbers could, if not win the game, at least get AR12 a long way here now in terms of causing idle time and restricting the eco that should already be fragile from Ant-Man, going for a greedy fast Imperial play here. Castle in the middle, of course, breaking down walls here, and imp on the way for AR12 as well. So once Imperial Age is in, he will have quite a few crossbows to convert into arbalests here. Ant-Man having Franks is his favorite civ though, but he's idling quite a bit here and might not be able to get to the full potential of Franks. Could be, is going for the Cavalier upgrade here, but only has 7 military total. That's not going to be enough against this ball of crossbows. This defensive castle will never go up. Ant-Man desperately needs some siege here or something. Could have maybe tried and rushed up the castle further to the side as well to, at the very least, keep the crossbows from extending in this area. Going up with almost 20 more villagers, AR12 is going to have a stronger economy once the Imperial Age kicks in as well. Is most certainly set up for archers play here, getting ballistics, getting tumbling, getting those preemptive pikes for defense against the Franks mounted units as well. Cavaliers in mass production for the Ant-Man now, 5 stables. And yeah, it's trying to break through on this side, seems to be succeeding. Treb attacks from the top as well, will contest this town center. 10% to go for AR12 to get to Imperial Age. Is not in a position to go straight into halves here, but has 17 to 9 KD and has 50 more population overall, lots more military. The issue being the lack of mobility from the archers here. They will be arbalests soon probably, but they can't really chase Cavaliers easily. Upgrades, let's look at the upgrades for Cavaliers. Missing attack, missing the Imperial defense as well, and Halberdier in the teching now for AR12. So it's all going down in the middle. A forward castle of the Ant-Man. Pretty even scores here, economy-wise, or overall score here. But then it's the military score for AR12. And why does the Ant-Man have such a high score? He has more villagers, granted. So he must have gotten some kills from the raid here. That's the mobility playing in. But now halberdiers in. Japanese halberdiers. They attack faster as well. They are lacking upgrades, obviously. But still do the trick here against the Cavalier forward because the Ant-Man, going up as early as he did, doesn't have the best economy in the world to sustain consistent Knights production. He did lose this pawn, so no free fish here. AR12 is officially with 3 pawns and probably still 3 TCs as well. TCs. Did lose 1, did lose 2 maybe even. So Ant-Man doing quick work of a lot of AR12's eco here as well. But both in imp now with castle on the hill here for AR12. This is such an important hill. Golds and stones on both sides. Extra damage for the traps from the hill. And there's a limit to how long Ant-Man can keep repairing a castle, although he has quite a bit of stone access over here. Players so cramped together. Here goes an archery range down from Treb fire from the Ant-Man over here. TC went down over here, but AR12 rebuilds it further back. Still with crossbows, didn't commit to arbalest here. Probably had more important business to attend to get into halberdiers here. But they seem to be splitting the map equally, and Ant-Man, when or if the resources run out, imagine if Ant-Man at least had known about the area in the back here with some extra golds and stones to take. They're just so safe for him. AR12 breaks through, now raids with some helps over here. Ant-Man with a ridiculous villagers lead though, because he's been taking out villagers and TCs from AR12 by raids and trebuchets here. But how do you fight off 72 military with only 15 of your own? Yes, you have stronger eco, but you have no way to defend it. TC down for the Ant-Man as well, still with a roughly 30 villagers lead here. One Treb just chilling out here for now, and some pushing from this side. I don't understand what's happening here. AR12 has such military domination, but he doesn't have the mobility in the archers to contest what's going on here. I will have to keep saying that the military number here is 74 to 10 though. There shouldn't be any way for the Ant-Man to keep contesting this, even though archers and halberdiers don't stand a chance against constant castles pushing for the Ant-Man, but with trebs to push them down, Japanese trebs at that, they pack up even faster. Look at this. I think that's the unique tech, having them pack faster. If it's in at all for AR12, I'm just going to do a quick check if he has Katavaruto here for the trebs. It doesn't really, but if he does get it, he will fire and unpack faster. Ant-Man losing villagers as well, now only with 20 villagers lead and struggling a lot for military here. So, halberdiers raiding like crazy. It's the best raiding unit AR12 can send now, because the army composition of the Ant-Man can't do anything about that. Ant-Man doesn't have an answer to halbs. He's committing to fast imp, cavalier and trebuchets to push. And now has 1 treb against 4 here, I think. I don't think he's gonna force this down as long as the villagers can repair here. Finally finds the neutral resources in the back though, so that's a nice point to fall back to for the Ant-Man. Still has stone in abundance for more castles here, but then the constant halberds are going to be so annoying here, and your best and only defense are castles here. But look at the food and wood eco of Ant-Man. He's struggling here now. 17 on food, 9 on wood. Has to rely on castles and gold for defense here. Might have to buy more castles to sustain defense in the long run. There's a limit to how far long you can keep repairing castles. This side has been lost, and AR12 has assumed some position here with more ranges to commit to even more military. 75 military now, and look at the population as well. So much higher for the Ant-Man. It is a decider game though, so I can see why Ant-Man would hold on here. But given the military domination and the eco setup here for AR12. Even with even trades, I think AR12 gets the better end of the deal in the end, because he's with constantly higher population, and even villager counts here, it's much more military for AR12. And as long as he keeps his traps alive and keeps them protected, they could keep pushing castles as well. And again, has the hill here against the castle that is sort of on the hill, but downhill from the trebs. 4 trebs here shouldn't have any trouble contesting this. Look at the production tab from the AntMan. Only producing villagers now. It's been 13, 12 military arbs just and halves just chewing up these cavaliers. That's just a hopeless fight. They're probably trying to pat in here, but I think this palisade here is making the patting even more awkward. And what a stressful but good finale. AR12 takes the 4-1 and moves on to the final of the Gold League in the Norwegian Community Tournament before Christmas. Overall, stronger on all points here. Military, economy, technology, only lacking castles, but did get the traps out, so that was more than enough. 133 to 121, and some buildings raised and such. And yes, stronger overall here, up times, more consistent fire toll as well. Fast imp didn't do enough, Antman didn't have enough eco to back what he wanted, I think. And the total castles is 8. That did hold for a while, but not once AR12 reached Imperial. Obviously, the military number being key here. 86 largest army against 19. No way Franks can fight that back against Japanese Arbs, Halberdiers, and Trebs. Look at the army tab here, just increasing, and whew!